We all love a redemption character. You know, the one where they start off on a bad path, but they learn lessons that help them change for the better and become a good person. Vecna doesn't have one of those stories. Henry Creel, who would become known as One, and eventually Vecna, is a character who shows us something far more disturbing than pure evil. He shows us calculated malice, a complete rejection of humanity, and a psychology so twisted that it makes him one of the most terrifying villains in modern television. This is someone who looked at the world, saw its flaws, and decided that existence itself was the problem. Henry Creel was born different, not in the way that makes you special, but different in a way that separates you from humanity itself. From a young age, Henry possessed telekinetic abilities that set him apart. But it wasn't just the powers. It was how he saw the world. Where most children see wonder and possibility, Henry saw weakness and deception. He looked at human society, at families, at the structures we build to create meaning and connection. And he saw nothing but lies. His father, Victor Creel, was a war veteran trying to build a normal life. His mother, Virginia, was doing her best to maintain a household. His sister, Alice, was just a kid, a normal family. But to Henry, normalcy was a prison. The expectations, the routines, the forced emotions, and fake smiles. He despised it all. And here's where we see the first signs of his dark psychology. Henry didn't just reject his family's way of life, he wanted to punish them for it. The Creel family massacre wasn't an accident. It wasn't a loss of control or a moment of rage. It was premeditated, calculated, and designed to inflict maximum suffering. Henry tortured his mother and sister, breaking their bones one by one, snapping their limbs while they were still alive. He made his father watch, powerless to stop it, before framing him for the murders. Think about the complete absence of empathy needed to torture your own family members to death, and then condemn your father to a lifetime of being branded a murderer and losing his sanity in a psychiatric institution. This is where we need to talk about what Henry actually is from a psychological standpoint. He exhibits signs of malignant narcissism combined with sadism. He genuinely believes he is superior to other humans, not just intellectually, but existentially. He sees himself as evolution's next step, and everyone else as inferior beings who deserve to be controlled or eliminated. Dr. Martin Brenner recognized Henry's abilities and brought him to Hawkins Lab, where he became Subject 1. You might think this is where Henry's story could have taken a different turn. But that's not what happened, because that's not who Henry was. Brenner didn't create the monster. He just gave the monster a new playground. At Hawkins Lab, Henry was surrounded by other children with abilities. And what did Henry do? Did he find kinship with them? No. He saw them as pawns, tools to be used and discarded. The other children feared him, and they were right to. Because while they were just trying to survive in Brenner's facility, Henry was planning something far more sinister. Henry's philosophy is what makes him so uniquely disturbing. He doesn't just want power for power's sake. He wants to remake existence itself according to his vision. A world without structure, without meaning, without the lies that humans tell themselves to cope with existence. He sees time as a prison, humanity as a plague, and himself as the one with the courage to burn it all down. Let's talk about how he manipulated 11. He presented himself to her as a friend, as someone who understood what it was like to be different, to be controlled by Brenner. He played the role of the sympathetic ally, and 11, desperate for connection, believed him. She trusted him. And what did Henry do with that trust? He used it to get her to remove the chip that was suppressing his powers. The moment he was free, he immediately began massacring everyone in the lab. The massacre reveals something crucial. He didn't just kill the guards or Brenner. He killed the other children who had done nothing to him. But to Henry, they were part of the problem, part of the human infection that needed to be purged. He killed them without hesitation, without mercy. And he would have killed 11 too if she hadn't managed to stop him. When 11 banished him to the Upside Down, Henry didn't die. He adapted, he evolved. He became Vecna, taking his name from a lich from Dungeons and Dragons, a being that had transcended death itself. And in the Upside Down, he found his kingdom, a world of rot and decay, a world without the lies of human civilization. And he began to reshape it, to control it, to turn it into an extension of himself through the Mind Flayer. But Vecna wasn't content to just rule the Upside Down. He wanted to merge it with our world. He wanted to spread the decay across all of reality. And to do that, he needed to open gates. And to open gates, he needed to kill. This brings us to Vecna's victim selection, which reveals another layer of his twisted psychology. He doesn't just kill randomly. He chooses people who are suffering from trauma, from guilt, from psychological wounds. Chrissy Cunningham, dealing with an eating disorder and an abusive mother. Fred Benson, racked with guilt over a car accident. Patrick McKinney, suffering from abuse at home. Max Mayfield, consumed by guilt over Billy's death. At first glance, you might think Vecna is showing some kind of twisted mercy. But that's not it at all. Vecna chooses these victims because their pain makes them vulnerable. Their trauma creates cracks in their psychological armor that he can exploit. He enters their minds, forces them to relive their worst memories, amplifies their guilt and self-hatred. And then he breaks them. Literally, he snaps their bones, crushes their eyes, and kills them in the most brutal way possible while they're trapped in a nightmare of his creation. This is sadism in its purest form. Vecna doesn't just want to kill. He wants to torture. He wants his victims to suffer psychologically before he destroys them physically. And he justifies it all with his philosophy about ending the lies that humans tell themselves. The way Vecna operates inside his victims' minds shows us how intimately he understands human psychology, but only in the way a predator understands prey. He knows which memories will hurt the most. He knows which words will cut the deepest. He weaponizes people's trauma against them, turning their own minds into instruments of torture. When he confronts Max in her mind, he tells her that she secretly wanted Billy to die, that she's glad he's dead. He takes her complicated feelings about her abusive stepbrother and twists them into a weapon to destroy her sense of self. This reveals something crucial about Vecna's psychology. He understands human emotions, but he doesn't feel them. He can identify guilt, shame, fear, and love, but only as a scientist might identify bacteria under a microscope. Tools to be used, weaknesses to exploit. When we look at the 4 kills Vecna needs to open the gates, we see the calculating nature of his psychology. This isn't random violence. This is a ritual. Each death is a carefully planned step toward his ultimate goal. He's not killing out of rage or even hatred. He's killing the way someone might solve a math problem, with cold precision and complete detachment from the human cost. But here's what makes Vecna truly terrifying. He's completely self-aware. He knows exactly what he is. He knows he's a monster by human standards, and he doesn't care. In fact, he embraces it. When he reveals himself to Nancy, He doesn't try to justify his actions in a way that makes him seem sympathetic. He outright tells her his plan to destroy Hawkins, to merge the upside down with our reality, to spread decay and death across the world. And he does it with pride, with satisfaction. He wants her to know what's coming, because he wants to see the fear in her eyes. This is a level of malevolence that goes beyond typical villainy. Vecna doesn't want power for its own sake. He wants to fundamentally alter the nature of reality because he believes existence itself, as humans experience it, is a lie that needs to be destroyed. He's not just a nihilist. He's an active force for annihilation, masquerading as enlightenment. His physical form in the Upside Down tells us something too. The vines connected to his body, keeping him in a constant state of suffering. I think Vecna has chosen this existence. He's merged himself with the Upside Down to the point where he is the Upside Down. The pain he's in, he's transcended it. He's incorporated it into his identity. This is a being that has moved beyond human concepts of pleasure and pain, existing in a state of constant agony that he's transformed into power. When the Hawkins crew attacks him, burning him with Molotov cocktails and shooting him with a shotgun, we see something interesting. Even in the face of physical destruction, Vecna doesn't show fear. He doesn't beg or plead. He fights back with everything he has. But there's a coldness to it, an inevitability. The fact that he survives tells us something important. Vecna has become something beyond human, something that can't be destroyed through conventional means. He's transcended his physical form to become something more like a force of nature. And that makes him infinitely more dangerous. Because you can't reason with a force of nature. You can't appeal to its humanity because it has none left. What separates Vecna from other villains is his complete rejection of the possibility that he might be wrong. Most villains, when confronted with opposition, at least consider the alternative perspective. Vecna doesn't even entertain the possibility. He's so certain of his worldview, so convinced of humanity's worthlessness, that alternative perspectives don't even register as valid to him. From a clinical psychology standpoint, we'd be looking at severe antisocial personality disorder with narcissistic and sadistic features. But honestly, those labels feel inadequate. Vecna has become something that transcends human psychological categories. He's a being of pure malice who has constructed an entire philosophy to justify his desire to inflict suffering on others. The most disturbing thing about Vecna's psychology is how completely he believes in what he's doing. There's no doubt in his mind, no moment of hesitation or regret. When he kills, he does it with the conviction of someone who believes they're saving the world, even though what they're actually doing is destroying it. At the end of Season 4, Vecna succeeds in opening the gates. Hawkins begins to merge with the Upside Down, exactly as he planned. And even though he's been physically damaged, even though the heroes have fought back, he's won this round. The decay is spreading. And somewhere in the Upside Down, Vecna is recovering, planning his next move, completely unshaken in his belief that he's doing what needs to be done. This is what makes Vecna so uniquely disturbing. He's not a villain you can redeem. He's not someone who can be reasoned with or shown the error of his ways. He's a being of pure malevolent will who has looked at all of existence and decided it needs to be unmade. And he has the power to do it. Henry Creel became Vecna. But the transformation wasn't about gaining power or losing his humanity. It was about fully embracing what he always was, a being incapable of empathy, driven by a desire to remake reality in his own twisted image, convinced of his own superiority, and willing to torture and kill anyone who stands in his way. In the end, Vecna's psychology isn't just dark. It's a void, a complete absence of everything that makes us human, filled instead with cold calculation, sadistic pleasure, and an unwavering conviction that the world would be better off dead, and that's what makes him truly terrifying. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the twisted mind of one of Stranger Things' most disturbing villains, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more psychological breakdowns of your favorite characters. Let me know in the comments who you want me to analyze next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.